Those who've been watching the channel for some time will know that I managed to visit Felton about 3 years ago now.
Yeah, probably the only welded diff Tesla driving it out there.
So while I was doing the Charge Qube video last week, I thought it'd be rude not to have a little bit of an explore with Chris to go around the site to see what we could find. Let's get into it. So here she is. She's a beaut, isn't she? That is amazing. And you'll be surprised, you won't be surprised actually, that Chris is in his favourite new vehicle. Chris,
Yes.
what were you thinking?
I know. This is not Felton related, this is a personal thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking, but you know, $9 billion company, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why not rip bits apart and see what's going on inside?
How much do you reckon they were going to sell these for?
The amount, I don't reckon they would have ever broken even. Or if they, you know, if they had, it would have taken a long time.
If anyone's been watching the series with Chris on hazelnuts and this Ups van, they'll know that there's been quite a few trials and tribulations, and it's not the fact that Chris has got just one. He's actually got another van over there that I think he's taking a load of parts off, and you did have another one, didn't you?
Yeah, the other one's gone. Someone's got the other one, trying to fix that as well.
Some lucky person.
And then there's piles of Tesla parts as well, which obviously taking battery packs out of them for Charge Qubes. And Alex, my business partner in Felton, has a fascination with Tesla, so keeps buying them and stripping them for parts. But, you know,
yes,
why not, eh?
I have watched your most recent video, and you still not quite got it moving yet.
No. I've now got into the software, which is great. So now I'll be able to actually see what's going on, but it's not giving me any error codes. So the problem is it's either missing something, i.e. something's not plugged in, or something's broken and it's not communicating over CAN bus.
Yeah.
But luckily, people watching the videos, a load of them used to work for Rival, so they're slowly messaging and going, try this, try this, try this. I'm sure one of them will reach out with something which is relevant and I've not thought about doing, and we may get it to work, but who knows? What's
been really interesting about the van, because I'm sure there's been good, bad and ugly.
There has been.
What have you been really impressed with in terms of what they've produced?
The HVAC system was good.
Right.
Even though I know the version I took out of this wasn't their version, I have seen the version they did, and the HVAC system was really clever with all like a bit like the Tesla octavalve stuff. They would do some really clever stuff and heat pumps, all that stuff with it.
So HVAC as in the cooling system?
Yeah. And then the software, getting into it finally over the last week or so has been great, because you can see, I think that's where a lot of their money went. They had a massive software team of hundreds of people. So the software was really nice, easy to work with, easy to diagnose. I think long-term the software would have been great. So this is an old iteration, so this is like van number 3. Right. Of the second batch, but they did 2 more versions after this, which obviously changed a lot.
Okay.
The issue is every version after this was a completely different to this, so no parts crossed over, from what I understand. So it's a bit crazy. I mean, in my opinion, the biggest downfall with these vans was the battery packs and the battery module design. UPS have been great, mind. They haven't moaned at me for doing videos with it, but they've just said never drive it on the road.
No.
So that's my deal with them, but it means you've got a UPS branded van, which no one else in the world seems to have, I don't think.
So what's the bad and the ugly about it?
There was lots of issues with these ones. They had subframes cracking is one thing, which is why that one over there has got metal subframes, as in steel.
Let's go and have a look at that one.
This one is quite rough. So from
it does look a bit rough from here.
Yeah, so this was used, I think, a lot of time for like rollover testing were a lot of these. So they had like things sticking out the side of them. So this is one I wanted to rebuild. So I want to rebuild this with a different system in it, basically. Either a Tesla system or something in this to make it drive again. But because the software's a bit finicky, I couldn't get wipers and all that stuff to work, so it was better just to rip it all out. Start from scratch.
So this is literally just going to be the shell?
Yes, and then build up from a shell, because then I've got a chance of actually IVAing it. But I need to build it up from a shell, do it right, and put everything back in, which is a huge task. So I've sort of keep taking bits off this to try and fix that one, but obviously van-wise, I've started to build the T5 van out of the Tesla, because that's going to be a quicker thing for me to get on the road and keep viewers happy. But anyway, that's probably enough about this. Shall we show you actually Felton itself rather than my hazelnut stuff?
That's a good idea. Let's go and do that.
Let's go into the other units.
Yes, there's quite a few units here since last time I came here. So this is the new unit, actually. Yes, that wasn't here last time.
This one will be fitted out for Charge Qube. So this will become basically a location for us to turn out, build Charge Qubes.
Right,
which we needed more space to do. But it's become a dumping ground for toys, it seems to be recently.
Nothing wrong with toys.
Let's go and have a wander.
So straight away we come outside and Old Faithful. Have you got a name for the Porsche
We
911?
haven't named this Porsche. It has been used and abused. It's on over 230,000 miles now.
230.
Yeah, and there's
Wow.
rust coming through in places that rust. I can't even know. There's rust coming through everywhere. Like all this is now going, flaking away. It needs to come off the road really and be rebuilt, but
Yeah.
for now we'll just keep putting miles on it and testing the kit.
Because this was the original car, other than the blue one that was in the background about 3.5 odd years ago. So, are you still doing testing and development on this?
Yeah,
body?
we're always doing bits on the Porsches, always doing updates and tweaks. Still building lots of kits for them, for companies all over the world. And then alongside that, we've still got the Mini,
Aha, yes.
the Mr. Bean Mini.
The
that
Mr.
everyone
Bean
knows.
Mini. Yeah, you've. I've seen so many cool videos with this Mini. Obviously, there was the one in London, which if anyone's not seen it, go and check it out on. It's on Hazelnuts, isn't it?
And Sam Hard's channel.
Sam Hard, that's it. Yeah.
So yeah, this thing's been all over the place. We didn't quite get arrested in London, which was great. But this is vehicle number 1. So this was the first one we built for BMW. So they then gave us this Mini afterwards.
Oh wow, really?
So that's why we repainted it and made something of it, because it
Yeah.
finally became sort of our possession, shall we say. So this is the one that I get to test and mess around with the kit inside it. So I think this kit in here has done about 20,000 miles now. So it's done quite a lot of miles on this one, but we want to run this as much as possible compared to any of the other ones out around the world.
Yeah.
So if we do find an issue, we find out on ours way before anyone else does.
Now, last time I was in here, Chris, I think there was battery boxes being made in here.
Oh, probably, yeah. Probably. So now it's, plasma fabrication room, so for welding battery boxes, building all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so in here we'll do fabrication. So that's the Land Rover seat box in its sort of sheet metal folded form, shall we say, before it all gets welded together.
Yeah.
And these are the ones that people like electric car converts and stuff are using to get their Land Rovers to 110 kilowatt hours.
Okay, yeah.
And then we've got our brake press for doing all our bending, which is a Tesla unit.
The Tesla bend. Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Tesla bend. Not made by Tesla, I'm guessing.
Not made by Tesla.
No.
And then we go into the main workshop, which is where a lot more happens. So
Like, last time I was here, you were testing a Tesla Model 3 motor in here.
on a dyno, probably.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
So now it's, well, as you can see, now it's a wiring room.
Ah, okay,
So-
yeah. Yeah.
Everyone in here just sits there doing wiring and stuff, day by day, making up all the harnesses. And
Cheeky
then-
Model 3 motor on the crate there.
Yep. Then we've got all the harness gear, so all the automatic machines
Oh, wow.
for crimping every single pin,
Oh,
for
wow.
every harness.
Okay. Yeah.
And then that machine basically cuts it to length, prints the cables. So yeah, lots of toys in here, but it means
Wow.
we can reliably build mass harnesses and make sure they're reliable. So you're not hand crimping anything. It basically strips and crimps all in one, which is quite nice.
That is, yeah. That's pretty cool. What are these down here?
Those are the dies that go in. So this is all the dies for every type of pin. So see, there's so many different pin types we use
Right.
for harnesses that we end up having them on reels in every single different type of die.
Wow.
Then we've got motor prep, so like the Zonic motors all get tested.
Oh yeah, how's the Zonic motors going? What sort
Yeah,
of cars?
pretty good.
What sort of cars are they going into?
A lot of them go into Europe, so EV Europe and stuff use a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
They still go into the Minis, obviously. Alongside that, we work with Enetic, so we're using a lot of the Enetic motors now as well, which are UK built, which is, yeah, still interesting.
I'm trying to remember where you were doing the refurbishment of the Tesla Model S large drive units last time. God, it's changed so much.
Yeah, so this is stacks and stacks of battery modules.
Yeah.
Then we've got multiple build rooms. So this is where we have the mini kits, but I think there's nothing in here. But there is an arrival motor, which is quite interesting. So this is normally mini build room, but we have got the drive system out of the arrival motor with its 2-speed gearbox, and then it's got all of its inverter and everything was buried inside there. But I ripped this apart on one of the recent videos, so people could see what was actually going on inside of it.
What did you think of the motor in terms of the spec and sort of
It
constant?
was clever. The
Okay.
continuous loading's good. The fact you've got motor inverter gearbox in this square with the shafts coming out either side makes it quite a nice, usable item.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-speed. So from an
Okay.
efficiency point of view, it's really clever. And it's just got a little 12-watt motor here that basically just engages and drives the gear in and out. So it's a little bit different, but they could actually do that gear change whilst driving,
Yeah.
which is what was getting quite interesting for Arrival. So yeah, that was quite an interesting thing.
What's your thoughts on like the two-stage kind of gearbox?
I think there's benefits, but you need to be able to do it so people don't know the gear's been changed.
Yeah.
'Cause I know that the Taycan's got it, but it normally starts in one gear and stays in it. It's very rare. I don't think it ever transitions between the two gears. Or if it does, you'd notice. Whereas they were working on something which would allow the gear change to happen seamlessly without you knowing, which I thought was quite clever. And then we've got basically battery pack building. So in this room here, the guys are in there. They're basically building the universal battery boxes.
Okay.
So you've got Stu just there. He's basically building the top part of the universal box with the HV plate in. And then Matt will be basically putting modules together onto cooling plates, and then they drop the lid on, and then basically build the box. These are stacks of Porsche kits and boat kits for marine.
Quite a few Qube modules over there.
Yeah, stacks of Qube modules, stacks of SWAT modules. Then there's actually a full Porsche kit there in testing on its rig.
Okay, yeah. Nice shiny large drive unit.
Yeah, refurbished large drive unit with limited slip diff inside there. And then you've got things like universal boxes that go on these big test rigs. So these will do like 100 amps continuous or 180 kilowatt discharge. So we can do high discharge on the battery packs to make sure they stay balanced. And all that stuff as we charge them up and stuff. Do a load of charge cycles before they ship. Yep. And then we've got these things here. This is
sorry, I was just mesmerised
by
by the controls over there on the bench. Make sure I've got them in. So let me zoom in later. There we go. And what we got here?
This is actually Porsche Speedster. So this is Sebring. They do the
Sebring, yeah.
Sebring,
Yeah.
So this is basically one of the ones we're just putting together for them at the moment. But
yeah, if anyone's not seen the Sebring video, I'll put it up there because that was when I went to go and see.
This one's in bits, but it's slowly getting built up and put together with the Model 3 motor and then the 55 kilowatt hour floor pack.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the Sebring. I haven't got to drive it yet, so one day I'll get there. But no, that's cool. Very cool. Yeah. So, like you said, it's mainly the focus on the Charge Qube at the moment. But any exciting things that you can give away, Chris, in terms of new EV conversion kits or anything like that?
Nothing massive. A lot of the stuff we've been developing is Defender. So we're doing a lot of Defender development at the moment.
Okay.
Mainly all the big bits to make up a system to supply out to other companies. So front boxes, seat boxes, rad packs. New gauge clusters we're working on, HVAC systems. So there's we're sort of focusing on the development of the key bits that are hard for people to develop and take a lot of time to develop. Yeah. So we're going to do them, and then we can sell them out in more higher volume for people.
Okay, so bringing the prices down basically.
Yeah. Okay. If you're a small outfit and you're only doing a handful of cars a year, you don't want to spend the time developing an in-depth cooling system. But if we do it and then we can supply it out to multiple people, it makes it more cost effective for everyone.
I see the zero EV branding.
And there's still a bit there floating around in odd places.
Bit of old school, historical knowledge there.
But not huge amounts.
No, not anymore. But yeah, it's changed so much. It's really good to see.
And then upstairs here is all our stock. So we've got
How's that been going in terms of the shop? Because you guys have got shop for all the parts, etc.
Yeah, shop
for
ticks
people
over
doing
daily. It's just a sideline of the business, I suppose. Now is just all the shop stuff. So we've just got stacks and stacks and stacks of parts. I mean, ridiculous amounts of parts.
And what kind of parts are most kind of popular at the moment? Is anything that you guys are constantly selling loads of?
Battery management systems are a big one.
Yeah.
Motors and stuff we don't tend to sell out because we tend to do B2B only.
Yeah.
But they are there, and then loads of other stuff. It's like buzz bars, BMS boards. It's all the little bits that are hard for people to get hold of.
Yeah.
They can buy a battery pack, but they need the other bits to go with it. And then the other big thing for us is training.
Training. I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of training of City and Girls training courses and TUV courses, just to give people that base knowledge they need to be able to do that. And then down this way we've got development, which is more the offices.
Let me just get a few handfuls of these parts. Hang on, might need something for the TVR.
You don't know what any of them do.
No, I don't.
And then this is the development offices through here, which is a bit more of a nice.
This is nice in here, isn't it?
Nice open space for development.
Real plants, right?
Actual real plants. Yeah, makes a change.
This is a very strange looking MX-5.
It is a very strange, but this is the front battery box from the MX-5.
Yeah, I recognise it. Yeah.
Obviously, it's a very old design for us, so it's all cabled and stuff, which normally it's all be custom buzz bars now, but it shows,
perfect for training.
Something that works, good for training.
Yeah.
You can power it all up, bring it all online, do this safety disconnects, all that sort of stuff, I think.
Not Zonic, it's the bloody...
That's a Hyper 9, that one is.
What am I, wash my mouth out. The viewers are used to my mistakes.
Yeah, it can be turned on and...
That's pretty cool. So when you put it into drive, it like moves that way then, right?
So the motor does work. It does work, basically.
That's pretty cool.
But it's there used to be a supercharger tied up to this,
Oh, okay.
but it didn't put enough sort of restriction on the system. So,
Right, what did the supercharger do? Just to show it was moving, sort of thing?
yeah, it was just as a belt for it to move and put some load onto the system.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a whole system now. I mean, it's charger, DC to DC, everything that goes into a whole kit, even cooling systems and the lot. So it's quite good for training on, just so people can see everything needed to basically convert an EV on one box, basically. We've also got the mini kit, which you've seen multiple times.
Yep.
Oh
yeah. I've seen that a few
in
shows.
the mini.
This is the show.
This show stuff, yeah, and the
Stuff, yeah.
universal battery pack, as everyone now knows, which seems to get used
Yep.
all over the place. And then in the training room itself, we just have lots and lots of broken bits, basically. So anything that's been broken seems to find its way into here. So
that's great.
we can explain it to people and sort of show them the insides of Tesla large drive units and you know, bits inside the motor and how inside the batteries are with the prismatic cells and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There is an arrival module here as well.
Okay, cool. What's the specs on the arrival module?
I think they're 3.6 or 3.8 kilowatt hours each, but there are 400 volts per module.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that each one's got one of these BMS boards on top of it, inside the module, which is crazy.
Wowzers. Okay.
So that's a full battery management system there, and they've got a set of contactors and pre-charge system in every single module, which is a bit mental really when you think about it. And then yeah, you've got basically under here all your cells.
Oh wow. And what? Where are the cells from? Who makes them?
They're either an LG or a Samsung. I can't remember exactly which model they were.
Yeah.
2170.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, interesting, very overcomplicated, but perfect for energy storage. Because
Yeah.
every one's got its own set of contactors. You could have 2 or 3 or 10, and you can just scale
Modulate.
So
Yeah,
in one
modulate.
way for that, it's quite good for energy storage, but in a vehicle when you've got minimum of 18 of them, it becomes a bit much.
No, it's cool. Awesome. Well, I hope everyone's enjoyed the walk around from Felton today. I've really enjoyed it. It's great to see the progress and how Felton is increasing in size, and hopefully I can get some more information, squeeze some more information out of Chris later. That's, you know, real nod, nod, wink, wink. But no, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.